down. 3.5 minutes to go, 74 yards. Miles running motion. Travis Miles going deep for Holmes. Double covered and a flag and a good call here. Easy call against Michael Bredwood, who had his back turned and in midair gave Holmes a push.
This offensive line broke down big time. Once again, Miles throws it up for grabs. Totally unnecessary shove by Bredwood. He's got double coverage. He's got a friend behind the receiver there. All he's got to do is go up in the air. Face masking in college football is legal. He can shield the face of the receiver. He doesn't need to push him.
15 yards, previous spot. Automatic first down.
Now, Travis Miles can be excused for throwing that one up for grabs because he's got to do something here. They got to get 2 scores in 3.5 minutes, so take a chance. Yes, put it up.
You're trying to do anything but help them out with 15-yard penalties, and just like that, they're up to the 41.
And it stops the clock.
Miles could have kept out of the shotgun. Instead, he throws to his tight end, Woolsey, who stops the clock at the 40, 18 yards. So they've snapped it twice, picked up 33 yards.
Woolsey shows good presence here to help his quarterback, first of all, by getting to an open spot. Nice presence by Miles. And when I talk about presence, I'm talking about keeping your wits about you under great pressure. And then the stocky fullback tight end type goes down the sideline, actually H-back. Those guys, both tight ends and the fullback line up in a variety of positions. And he gets out of bounds and gets his clock stopped. Very important.
One of those tight ends, Mark Moss in motion. Miles on a roll, looking for Tony Miles, broken up inside the 15 by Charlie Walker.
That's a hard play. A good job by Charlie Walker. He had outside leverage because he knew he had help coming from the inside. So Charlie went up, timed his leap perfectly, did not get on Miles's back, which he could have very easily. Tipped the ball away. Nice job. That's a nice play. There comes the help from inside out.
Don't look for Tony Miles to get single coverage much the rest of the way. Tried to make the diving catch and couldn't quite get to this one. He was a little longer than 5'9", maybe.
Protection has begun to struggle under the relentless pressure from these big guys. For Carson Newman, led by Killings, Hippolyte, Charles Huff, Torrey Griffin, right in his face, so they're beginning to move him and sprint him out. He doesn't throw quite as well on the run as he does when he's sitting in that pocket.
So, subpar numbers for Travis Miles today. Great protection this time, though, and it starts to break down finally. Throws it back across the field to J.R. Hill. Got a block from Holmes in the open field, and now Hill steps out of bounds at the 7. 33 yards. Travis Miles' patience after the great protection makes this happen.
The reason the protection is so good is you got 5 blockers on 3 rushers, but there are 8 dropping into zones here, so there's nobody open. And again, Travis Miles shows his greatest asset, which is to move around, find somebody open, and get the ball to him with a nice, easy throw. Hill should not be allowed to escape like this and get this far inside the territory of Carson Newman, but there he is. And here we are at 2:46, and they're about to score again.
That is Montre Ford. Injured free safety down for Carson Newman. A timeout with 2:46 to go. This one's still far from over.
Have you ever considered giving plasma? Plasma? What is plasma? Think of it as the liquid part of your blood. So, if you've ever given blood, you've given plasma. You know, plasma products are desperately needed by people with hemophilia, severe burns, or trauma. Plasma can't be made in any lab, so it takes people like you and me to give. Hey, Citian even pays you for your time. And how about that? Make money and help people. I'm in. You coming?
Right now at Centeon Bio Services, you can make up to $200 a month. For complete details, call the Centeon Bio Services nearest you.
Montre Ford, the junior free safety from DeKalb, Texas, down a long time, and he popped back up. He's right there in his usual spot, and they're ready to go. First and goal from just inside the 8-yard line. 2:46 to play, fourth quarter. Hill in motion. Miles in the shotgun. They come after it. Floater to Hill at the goal line, and he's got it. Touchdown. They just won't die.
Big risk when you come after a quarterback that's as good as this, and an offensive unit that is as polished as this. Here they come. Everybody's blitzing. Everybody's picked up, bumped off. Beautiful offensive work. You can't do it any better than that. I'm talking about protecting your quarterback. If the quarterback is blitzed and has that much time, he's going to beat you.
Again, they decide to go for one here and get it. So they're within 8. If they score again, then they'll worry about the try for 2, but Hill has them in position to even think such thoughts.
That's execution. That's hours and hours of practice. Blitz pickup every Wednesday, I'll guarantee you, happens on the practice field for the Bearcats. Otherwise, you wouldn't see those big guys up front and the backs doing such a fine job. Travis Miles keeping his jersey clean, giving his man Hill a chance to get open in the end zone for the touch.
The countdown continues. 50 greatest athletes of the century with number 6, Friday night at 10 Eastern, Jesse Owens. No doubt an extensive look back at the 1936 Olympics, and then at 10:30, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Number 5 on the all-time list, so we're down to 4. You can pretty much figure who the 4 are, if not the order. You still have Ali out there. You still got Jordan, Babe Ruth,
Don McPherson,
Jim Brown, Pele, Don McPherson, Bill Curry.
You don't put Curry in there, but I'll tell you, McPherson, you got to remember that our man on the sideline was number 2 in the Heisman Trophy voting, 1987, and probably should have won. There again, another one of my objective opinions.
Bill Curry, that's why I came all the way here to Florence to spend some time with you.
Well, big man, I believe it.
Tim Brown just nosed him out that year.
They are going to try the onside kick, and that's something that they have to do.
Both teams 2 timeouts.
Unless we get a big surprise here.
Well, the way he's teed it up, that would be a real big surprise.
You can always tell a real good kicker because he has a different color shoe on his kicking foot.
So Carson Newman's hand team out there, they hope for the big bounce. Eagles get the recovery of the onside kick at the 43-yard line. Jarvani Jackson.
Yep, that's the good hands people. There's a company that I don't know who it is, but uses that. The good hands people are up there in the front, and it is their job to be aggressive like a good shortstop and charge that thing, and that's exactly what Jarvani did.
Well, Carson Newman would join this impressive list of unbeaten Division II champions, 13-0 coming into this one. Northwest Missouri State pulled it off last year. North Dakota State 3 times between 83 and 90, and North Alabama, which plays right here on this very field in Florence. 2:39 to go. They run the reverse for Rump. And David Carlson nails him at the 39. Now the timeouts. 2 left for the Bearcats, and they'll use their first here with 2:28 to go. All that stands between Ken Sparks and the title.
Monday on Metro Sports Talk.
Theodis Brown joins us here in studio to break down the playoff implications of the Chiefs game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hear one-of-a-kind analysis from a guy who actually played the game of professional football. We'll take your calls and hear your opinions right here on Metro Sports Talk.
There's only one Metro Sports Talk. Weekdays at 6. Only on Metro Sports.
Guyton and Carson Newman need to just grind out maybe one more first down to sew this thing up. One timeout left for Northwest Missouri State. We're looking at 2nd down and 6. 39-yard line. Antoine Oliver, huge numbers today, and just keeps driving. It takes at least 2 tacklers to bring him down. And he's right at the marker for the first down, and in fact has the first down.
They're going to need another first down. And if anybody happened to be surprised that they ran the reverse on first down a moment ago, they actually had a trail back for Rump. Oliver was trailing him. Rump could have optioned and pitched the ball. And if you think that's risky, Ken Sparks knows that he doesn't want that ball back in those green shirts offense's hands. So he knew he had to have a first down, and he actually needs another first down to wrap this up completely.
The clock's only at 7. Game clock 2 minutes. He'll sneak. Now the last timeout, unless they got a fumble down there. Bearcats indicating they got a fumble, and they don't. If it changed hands, it was after Guyton had been ruled down, and now they'll get the timeout called at 1:44. And that is the last time Northwest Missouri State can stop the clock. A fumble now, their only hope.
Adventure from A to Z.
Adventure Zone.
Saturday starting at 4, only on the Travel Channel.
Metro Sports brings you the most comprehensive coverage of local sports in Kansas City. But you won't find Metro Sports on satellite because Metro Sports is available only on cable. With Metro Sports Talk, Metro Sports Sunday, Chiefs postgame show, Wizards Soccer, Missouri, K-State, KU, and UMKC and high school sports, we cover the metro area like no one else. You'll see the most complete coverage of local sports only on Metro Sports. And you'll find Metro Sports only on cable.
1:44 left, and now all Carson Newman's got to do really is avoid a disaster on a snap or a handoff if they decide to hand it off. They do here. Wes Simmons made the big hit on Melvin Oates. Clock rolling, 1:33 and counting. 1:30 to go. No timeouts for the Bearcats.
And if Carson Newman can finish this job, and it appears that they will, it's got to be a wonderful feeling for these men of excellence. Coach Ken Sparks, in his first team meeting last January, said, our goal is not to win the national championship. Our goal is beyond that. We want to continue and be the right kind of human being, and the national championship will be a byproduct.
They need to get this third down, though, to really finish it. Breaking a tackle, Oates, and then crunched at the 24-yard line, short of the mark by Frank Taylor, and the clock stops at 57 seconds.
Huge mistake by Oates. Just as soon as we got through pontificating about the principles of this program, a football mistake by Oates, who's had a great day and is a great player. You don't allow yourself under any circumstances to go out of bounds. The other team is out of timeouts. The only way that Northwest Missouri State can get back in this game is for that clock to get stopped that way and then to have a fumble here. Stranger things have happened.
4th and 2.
And another strange thing has happened.
Guyton reacting as if he knows how this one's going to be called, but then on the other side, the Bearcats are applauding too. So all of Guyton's body language.
Ball start on the offense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
Whistling in the graveyard. They'll back up and have 4th and 7. They have kept Northwest Missouri's hopes alive.
Here's what happened. Oates goes out of bounds. Ramage moves early, the right tackle, number 75. And what they've done is they've given, however distance, at least some kind of chance for the Bearcats to get back in this game, believe it or not.
Their 12th penalty. Got to wait and see how far Oliver drives the pile, and
he didn't make it.
Even he can't come close
Nope.
this time, and they're not out of it yet. It's amazing. Should have been over.
Ken Sparks knows this should never have happened. Northwest Missouri State should never have come back on the field with their offense, and they got plenty of time to go down and score.
Oliver, on a day in which he has rushed for 179 yards, can't get the clinching first down, and so 74 yards away, Travis Miles takes over with no timeouts, but as you said, a long stretch of time on that clock to use, 51 seconds.
Nobody's going home, that's for sure.
On first down, Miles Chase gets away, pulls up, throws it away. Guy that foiled out was Steve Josu. And late getting up, maybe after a late hit, but there's no flag.
Well, there were two opportunities for flags there. They could have called him for grounding. I've seen that call in a situation like that. And they could have possibly called a late hit, although I did not see it.
Well, let's see if we see it here.
Ken Sparks is not happy with Jetsu, number 91. He was having some advice for him there. It might have been on that very subject. We'll have to see.
That could well have been a late hit.
Well, Jetsu's the one that falls off from behind there. The hit was actually, yeah, that's Ike Curry. Certainly he wasn't intending to hit him late. The ball had just been thrown, but you're right, it was close.
So Travis Miles, with 44 seconds to go, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His backup is a redshirt freshman, John McMenamin, who has played in only 7 of their 14 games before today and has thrown only 17 passes. Good athlete, 2-sport all-state pick out of Elkhorn, Nebraska, football and basketball. This would be their 4th come-from-behind win in the postseason. Every round so far they've had to come from behind.
They're used to being in tough positions, although not this tough. And the rule says, and we all certainly hope that Travis Miles is just fine, if this is a minor injury, but even if he's okay, he cannot stay in the game this play. He has to come out of the game this play. So we'll see John McMenamin. And I must say that I happened to notice McMenamin in the warm-ups. And he has a superb delivery. He's a big guy. He throws the ball well. He's 6'3", but he is a redshirt freshman, and I don't think you should expect too much of him.
Final word or two of instruction before they send him out there.
Gosh, don't tell him too much, Coach.
44 seconds. Redshirt freshman John McMenamin for at least this play, and it's 2nd and 10 from their 26.
Yeah, and he's got 4 seconds.
That clock at 1. They run out of time. And only now do you hear whistles. No flags. Well, finally they throw the flag. Well, you could just tell as that play developed, there was no way they were going to get the snap off in time.
No, and that was not John's fault. He was sent on the field with 14 seconds and the clock ticking. He was kept on the sidelines entirely too long. Coaches trying to make sure he knew what to do, and they just overcoached. That's a good definition of overcoaching.
Miles right back on the field.
All he has to do is stay out one play. Maybe the coaches wanted to take that delay. Who knows?
So 79 yards away. 4 wideouts, shotgun. And he delivers on target at the 39-yard line. It is caught by Holmes, and it's a first down, and it stops the clock at 39 seconds, a gain of 17.
Right now, the offensive line for Northwest Missouri State is unable to handle the stunt. Here comes Jesu. He's clean again, which makes this throw all the more impressive on the part of Travis Miles. Travis Miles has shown a lot of guts and grit in this football game to get his team back into it again and again after making mistakes himself.
He really has. He's had a chance to have to respond to just about everything, good and bad, and he's done it every time. Again, toward the sideline, and Holmes makes the catch inbounds, clock still rolling.
Tough
First
break.
down.
Yep, tough break that he couldn't catch that thing and stay in stride. He had to go on the ground. They'll probably throw the ball on the ground here.
Clock holding at 26 seconds as they get the chains moved, and at 23 seconds he gets the spike.
Yeah, and the coaches are livid because the first down should have stopped the clock. I wouldn't be surprised to see them put some time back up here. They really should. The first down should have stopped that clock, and it did not.
It did, but only briefly, not as long as it should have.
Well, far too briefly. That's what Mel Churchman and his staff are trying to point out to the officials. And they're discussing it now. The referee is not going to put time back on the clock, so we got 23 seconds.
5 wideouts. Miles hit as he delivers. It is complete, but it's over the middle, and the clock at 17 seconds as Ryan George makes the 15-yard catch. 16 seconds is where they hold it this time to move the chain. And the spike also at 16 seconds. I'm telling you, they are going to get every last drop out of this championship they won a year ago. No way they should still be out there playing, and yet they're not only playing, they are still threatening to keep this game going in overtime.
Just remember how this happened. Oates ran out of bounds. He was not knocked out of bounds. He ran out of bounds to stop the clock, ramaged the tackle, moved early, preventing their ability to make the first down, and that's how this offense got back on the field. They should have never been out there.
From the 34, Miles going deep up the right side. He has a man, and Hill has a touchdown. Unbelievable. And 10 seconds to spare. 34 yards. Miles to Hill, and now the two-point conversion, which will come after Carson Newman talks over their strategy. Shouldn't even be playing still, and they are still very much alive as they try to repeat their championship.
Dave, 20 years from now, you'll find 100,000 people that will swear they were at this game. Oh, yeah, I was there. One of the great Division II football games. Let me change that. One of the great football games I've ever seen in my 44 years of football. Even Mel's just, he's not going to get excited. He knows that two-pointer is a long way. 3 yards is a long way when you're trying to make the 2 points. Coach Sparks has got his unit over there, his defensive unit, and he's reminding them, all you got to do is play the defense, and you keep them out of the end zone. They got us rattled. They got down there and got the touchdown. Keep them out right here, and the game is ours.
With 3:51 to go, Carson Newman put up their last score, and at that point it was 44-29. Since then, a 6-play, 75-yard drive at 53 seconds. Now a 6-play, 74-yard drive, taking 41 seconds. They still need the 2-point conversion to force overtime. Ryan George goes out wide right to tight end. And Miles throwing the fake for George. Caught it! He got it! We're tied.
David, I was totally baffled when I saw the formation and saw they were in 2 tight ends with 1 wide receiver. I thought, gee, are they going to run a power or an option here?
And the wide receiver was not Tony Miles, but Ryan George was the man for the job, as it turned out. A remarkable throw and catch.
Great programs have specialists for every purpose. I assure you that Travis Miles and George have worked on this thing over and over and over. Churchma with his typical exuberant, emotional reaction. Actually, he does get a little emotional here. He actually left the ground. That was about a 2-inch vertical jump.
He doesn't get emotional now. They need to take him straight to the ER. 15-point comeback in the last 3 minutes and 51 seconds. The Eagles leave the door open. They step right through, and they